You said you did the work in Ethiopia. And I know a lot of people are like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So you started your foundation, and in Ethiopia, you're doing the well water, correct?
Water wells.
Water wells.
Water wells. Now, I have to be careful about this with the foundation. So the foundation is not a 501c3. It's not that tax hedge thing that you see people do where they set up what's called a charitable trust or whatever the fuck, something like that, and they could put money there and get big tax write-off. It's not like that at all. Like the money we give, we actually give. You know, so it's not like, I don't want to call it a foundation anymore because of all the bad names from Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton and all their foundations shit. For us, it's really about giving. So now I call it raw giving to make it clear that what we do is we freaking give.
I thought that was just like a slogan you guys went with.
Nope.
Because it used to be raw foundation.
Yeah, now I need to make it clear as to what we're actually doing, which is actually giving. You're not taking a bunch of your fucking money and putting it away there for a tax dodge. You have to give it. Like, if it's given, it's gone. There's something I once read from Marcus Aurelius, which said the only wealth you ever keep is the wealth you give away. Because once you give it away, it's gone. So I learned this, because I went through the shit with the feds, with the machine gun to the head and the handcuffs and the whole thing. And because once you've gone through that shit, you know what I mean, with the guys with the helmets and all that shit, once you've gone through that, you realize a lot of this is it's not just temporary, it's like beyond temporary. At any moment now, the feds are going to come back through that door right there. They're going to kick it open. They're going to put me in the handcuffs again, down on the floor, with the machine gun to the head, the whole fucking thing, take away everything I ever earned. And
for papers?
They'll find some way, man. Who knows, right?
I'm saying this happened to you already?
Oh, yeah.
Over
yeah.
papers?
It happened to me over, I sold a bong to the daughter of the United States Customs Service special agent in charge for the Northern District of Florida. And she was 18, but it was still my store's fault. I didn't even do it myself. My store did it. It was my fault for selling her that pipe, not her fault for buying it. And he came in with a Bible in his hand and the machine guns and all of his friends. Door flies open, the whole thing, like full on.
Kicked your store in?
Oh yeah, came full on in, man. Full on, house, store, everything. He's threatening to shoot my Great Dane because my dog's barking at him. You know what I mean? Just like, it was fucking awful, just awful.
Because you legally sold this girl a bong?
Right, well, it was illegal. Bongs are illegal back then. This whole fucking bullshit.
Oh, the
90s,
put
man.
The time reference. Oh, you got played before Chong got played.
Yeah, Chong got played a few years later.
I didn't realize bongs were illegal at one point.
Yeah.
Water pipes.
Like,
Water pipes. Yeah. They're not bongs.
Oh, man. If you heard them argue, they'll say they still are. I don't believe they are because of the way the law is.
By the way.
Good. I'm glad you like
this.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for it to creep on you a little bit. You're going to like it more in a moment.
I like this. So you got raided because of that.
But it's not about me getting raided. That's cool. It's about the experience of getting raided made it where I look at things as a lot more temporary. It doesn't mean I got to make money and throw it away quick. It's like I laugh about the things like all the millions of dollars that we've truly given away. Truly given away, right? That's important. You look back on that, and the cool thing is it's gone. I could be living under a fucking bridge, and I still did that. There's no losing that.
Got that. Totally feel that.
Yeah. I did it. It's done. It's over. Fuck you. Oh, he didn't really do it. Yeah, but I did. I was there. I was there. I seen it. I know it's done. Right? I drank from the well, bro. It's there.
So you're building well. I mean, you're doing way more. I've seen you guys building. So what is your goal when you went there versus what's your goal right now?
That's that question. Okay, fine.
First, your goal when you went there was to start. What's your goal now that you know what you're doing? You've met these people, you know them by name, you know these kids, you see them grow up, you've seen them go to school. What is it now? What's the goal now?
100,000.
100,000 people?
I want to save 100,000 lives before I die. That's the goal.
With that?
Doesn't matter how. And saving them could mean actually saving them they were going to die, or making their life so much fucking better that you pretty much save their life, right? Keeping girls from being raped, terrible shit like that. Fistula, which I really would.
What is that? Like it does. What's he called?
When and I call them because we work. This is areas that I work in. Some of my people might be forced to have sex when they're too young, and a tear happens between the anus and vagina, and it causes an infection, or maybe even have a baby too early. And having the baby too early is actually even more common. Before they were ready to have a baby. Again, it causes tearing and something called fistula, where essentially the poop goes into the vagina. Oh. And you end up with terrible infections, and you're going to die from this. So how do you stop it? Well, of course, fixing it surgically afterwards is something that you do, but preventing it from happening in the first place is so much better, right? So how do you prevent it from happening in the first place? Well, you got to get the girls working more. You got to get them more power. You got to get them more control. You can't have them walk to that water well because they're going to get raped on the way to the water well. The guys know they walk to that water well every day. What if they don't walk to the water well anymore? Well, okay, pump it up here, solar pump down there, send it up to the village. Now the girls, with the exchange with the village elders of when the girls no longer have to do this, they must go to school. Yes, we will sign this contract saying that. Yes, cool. So now not only do you bring the water to the village, but now the girls are going to school, and you're kind of breaking a whole cycle of something that should.
Are you getting pushback from people that don't want that there?
No.
Good.
No, we don't get pushback in that regard. Some of the work we've done against just female genital mutilation, we've gotten some pushback, but it's I don't care. I'm still going to fight. Yeah. Like, not much I'm going to fight about, but it's going to be like, no. Actually, we will bring you this water, we will do this, and you will sign this, that there will be no FGM here ever, as long as that water well is operating. And they're like, no. Okay, then no. That's the only way this will happen. Okay.
So you have a whole section. Is it towns? I don't know
villages.
How it works. Villages. Is it just one village, or you have like a certain diameter?
Going to areas of greatest need. So you're floating around.
Gotcha. That's what I was.
And it used to be like one village at a time, right? You go to one village, you'd put in what's called an Afro Dev 5000 hand pump. It's a great hand pump. It needs some maintenance. You'd put in the water, you drill, hit the water, put in the pump, create a well commission where everybody that uses it pays a little bit of money just to help maintain it. One person you teach how to really run it, and they have to teach other people how to run it as well. Sorry if I'm talking too fast, man. You're good. You would create a little community around it, and you would leave, and there's your well, and it's done. And you come and check on it. If they really need your help, they let you know, and you develop a system for that. It used to be done like that. Now, because of lower cost solar, now it's one central well somewhere where there's really good access to water, and then you'll solar pump that water to 8 villages. And then you do it in a way where it just runs on its own. There's no switch to turn off. The sun comes up, water starts flowing into storage tanks that are at each one of those places. If the storage tank overfills, the water runs over. That's it. You better use all that water. Okay, so then the crops are being planted around it, and it just runs on its own. Down at the very base where the main thing is, there'll be somebody, one way or another, that is really in charge of just protecting that area. Just making sure that no one comes in to try to steal the solar panels or something like that, or tries to charge their phone off the panels, which is something we've dealt with. There's lots of stuff like that you deal with. And it's just okay. It's all part of human nature. But you just have to make sure that everything's fine.
Wow. How many have you done?
Dozens, man. Dozens. We've done so many of these projects now. Some are huge, like the ones we do for the Sisters of Mother Teresa, where I think we've done all of their hospitals now in Ethiopia. I think like
all
7
the wells there?
Like there were 7 compounds, if I remember right. There's 7 compounds throughout Ethiopia for the Sisters of Mother Teresa. And I believe we've given water to all of them at this point. It started with just one, and then I couldn't believe it was me, man. Like I'm saying it like, oh yeah, I'm just doing water wells with Sisters of Mother Teresa. Thomas, this is me and you, man.
No, I know.
So imagine if somehow, just for the fucking miracle of fate and weirdness and who the fuck knows what, you have the responsibility of being the primary water giver for the Sisters of Mother Teresa in Ethiopia. Whoa. Hospitals that house 800 people at a time, worst conditions you've ever can imagine within the depths of like a horror movie. And now you're responsible for getting them water because they don't have water. Cool. How are you going to live with that, man? Right? So you deflect it. You can't really take it in. You can't really accept it. But then you just sit there and you kind of step out of yourself and you feel detached from it because it's a lot of responsibility to bear. And you didn't want this responsibility, but it was given to you by the universe. So what are you supposed to do? Say no? You say no, you know what happens.
Yeah.
I know what happens. And it ain't going to be good. The universe is going to smack me silly. It asked for this. We do this. We are humans. We stand up for each other, and we do it. And we do it as good as it can possibly be. And then you don't just fucking do it like I'm sorry, I'm getting upset. I get mad at certain United Nations organizations that do these things where they build these beautiful fucking wells. I'm getting angry, and I don't want to get angry. They build these beautiful things for TV where they put in a well with a kid's merry-go-round on it, so the kids will play on it to pump the water. And as they're playing on it, it sends the water to a tank over there. And it's all this really cool stuff. And then they take their pictures and their videos for CNN and shit, and then they leave. What do you think happens? How do you maintain this thing, man? Come on, be realistic.
Yeah.
You didn't develop a water use committee. You didn't do what really needs to be done here. Did you create a sanitation system for them? Did you teach them about digging toilets? Did you do anything like this? No, you just made some really cool stuff that looks great for you, and you left. Mm-hmm. And now I got to come there and pick up the frickin' pieces Take what's left of the stuff and just throw it out. Use the original thing you dug and use that, attach onto it with a normal pump, and teach people how to use realistically how to use water from here and how to share it correctly. And then I got to stay in touch with them so that when the pump really breaks and they didn't have enough money with it that they saved up themselves, that we can go in there and do a repair project and keep it going.
How long have you been doing this? Seems like over 5 years now.
Oh,
before I moved here.
Much more than that. I don't know what year we started this stuff. It's been a while now.
I want to say 2014, 13.
Probably before then, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I remember it came with, I have this theory that like with every gift comes a request. So I was working in this vegan charity called Earth Save, and I just remember we had this incredible year at my company where we made a bunch of money, more money than I ever thought I'd make my whole life. And I look at this like, holy shit. It was after we had accomplished a bunch of stuff, like the launching of Raw, all things that people said could never be done. And I'm looking down, and at that day, if I remember right, maybe my mind changes it, a fax came over the fax machine, that's what it was like, which was a plea for help from a town called Dakicha, Ethiopia, where they'd had no rain at that point for more than a year. And the crops had died, the animals had died, and now the people were dying, and they were refusing to leave, and it was a plea for help. And I looked at this, and it was really, I think it was the same day I got the results telling me how well we had done. And I didn't know how to handle that because I can't. And just being honest, I can't, man, I can't. So
It's a weird feeling.
it is. I can't handle any of that stuff. I look at them, it's like, oh, people tell me these great numbers we do. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's great. All right, so let's go back to, just go back. Let me make something really cool. Let me teach you a new way to roll. I can handle that. My mind can accept that. And I looked at that fax, and I thought to myself, I can solve this, man. If anyone can solve it, it's going to be me. I just did that. Look at those fucking numbers we did. If there's any water in the area, I can get them water. There's got to be a fucking way. And that set me on a journey that I'm still on today. We got them water. We saved that village. It was awesome. And that set me on to another one, and they got bigger and bigger. And then you're there visiting, and you find another thing and another thing and another thing. I'm on a little bit of a soft spot at the moment because and I'm going to call it a civil war in Ethiopia at the moment, one of my projects that I knew was in trouble got blown up, and it got really hurt badly. And some of the people I love got really shot. One of them got shot. I'm sorry. And it's a place where I always felt I should have been there. I could have held that fucking gate, Thomas.
No, I get what you're
I
saying.
could have held that fucking gate, and I know I could have held the gate.
I mean, there's not much you can do when you don't know what's coming.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
I get what you're saying, man.
I knew it was coming.
But also, you're what's making everything work. You know what I'm saying? You're the key holder.
Yeah.
You can't hold the gate open and something happened to you, then what happens after that? I know it's a weird way to think about it, but that's kind of how it works. That's why people have security. The main person is because that person makes everything work, and then everyone else is affected after that point if that's gone. So it's not like we need to save them for ourselves, but it's more of like everyone's gone if you're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I know, and I give myself consolation with something that Sister Morella once said to me when she was talking, because when I was leaving there the first time, they said in Afar, it was in Afar, Diwidawa, and I didn't want to leave. I had this feeling. I was like, I looked at this area, and I looked at these beautiful people, the sisters and all the people they were helping, and I'm looking at these beautiful people, and they're so much more beautiful than me. I'm looking at their lives. They've given their life to help others for real, not the kind of bullshit way that I do. They really fucking give, literally here. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at this rickety fucking gate, and there's a dude there he's got a gun, ain't much of a gun, and ain't much of a gate. It's like, and I'm looking at this as we're leaving, and I'm like, I can't leave you to this. There's some really bad people on the other side of that gate, and I know they want to come through. And they're telling me, first of all, they wouldn't let me even stay the night because they were like, you'll get kidnapped tonight. No, you can't.
It's a war zone out there like that right now?
Yeah, you're on the edge. You're on Somaliland, essentially. So yeah, you're really in the shit. It's incredible, most beautiful place, but there's some serious things going on. And so, and I had the conversation. The conversation was something like, I want to stay. I have not done anything compared to what you. They were thanking me. I haven't done anything compared to what you do. and they're telling me, Josh, if you don't, you must go. If you don't go do what you do, then we can't do what we do. We have no ability to make money. We don't even know what this is here. This is, anyone can give their life. Not anyone can help us the way you have. You're like, okay, so you take that as strength and you take it as motivation. And then you're like, okay. And you walk out that gate knowing full well that you wanted to hold that gate. You wanted to sit there. I told the guys, I was like, I really wanted to make a call and call up. I don't know why I was going to call Dale, one of my guys, and be like, I need you to send guns and a lot of ammo. A lot. You know what I mean? We're going to hold this gate right here.
Just for the
right
fucking
here.
water thing?
It's the whole hospital, the whole compound.
Oh! I got you. I thought you meant it was like the pump that they were coming to do.
No, they're coming to, it's
for the whole
hospital
thing.
Yeah. It's religious problems, among other things. The sisters are not the same religion as some of the people that are around them, and it just creates conflict. Even though they're just there to help, it still creates a point of where there's a potential flashpoint. Yeah.
Right now, current day?
Current day. Last time I was there before that, they were crying because I don't want to go negative.
No, I got you.
In another place they were at, some bad people had come in and killed all of them except for one sister that hid behind a door that was open, and she was in a little crack when the door was open. And so in Yemen. So it's things happen, man.
Yeah.
When someone's really angry and they have no one to lash out against, they lash out against whoever they can lash out against. Mm-hmm. The representative in their mind, the closest thing they can to whatever they're angry about.
Well, you're doing everything you can do, man.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Everything you can do while maintaining everything else.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a point in your life, like we talked about, where you're like, I can hand this over. And I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, maybe you can spend more time there. How long are you there? You're going, I see you, every time I call you, you text me back or call me 4 days later. Just got your call. Just got your text. How you doing? I'm like, oh, you're in Ethiopia. Oh, you're in Spain. Yeah. Oh, I know you're somewhere else. Yeah. I know you're somewhere else. You do a lot, though.
Yeah.
Because before we even got into the foundation, that's a lot on your fucking plate, as it is just to maintain.
Yeah.
You know, and then maintain all of that is another big step. And I think I wouldn't feel bad, man. I think you're doing a good job. I think you're doing a great job, more than most people or anybody I've met before.
Okay, I'll say one last thing before I cut you off on that thing. I don't accept what you're saying because I know that every little piece, even this beautiful watch, if you go into this mindset, which is a terrible mindset to go, and it's not a journey towards happiness, with how many people you could have saved if you hadn't bought the watch.
Totally get it.
If you hadn't bought this, if you hadn't bought that. And it ends up weighing on you with each thing you buy. You're like, wow, how many people could I have? How many people could I have? How many people? And it sends you to a spot that's hard. It's a hard place to be happy. I try to get out of there, man. And I do a lot. But there is that point that holds on to the back there of like, it's some people would call it guilt. I call it more of maybe it's just grounding. I don't know. Try not to look at it in a negative way. It's important to realize that everything does come with a cost. And that's okay, man. But then when I'm working on a project, when I'm making something, when I'm doing stuff, it does add weight to the process in a good way. Where I'm like, no, I got to make this. I got to make it as good as it possibly can be, better than anyone has ever made it before in the history of fucking humanity. And I got to bring it out there, and it's got to be a success so I can do even better. So yes, I can give back more, and I can fucking even bring it, and I'll be an even better person that way. We're going to go, guys. Let's go. And my team's like, okay, man, let's do it again. You know, and then we end up down that road. So you use it in a way to motivate.
That's exactly how I see it. Like that's what I was trying to say, but you said it better. You're the puzzle piece. The better you do, the better everyone can do, the more you can do.
Yeah.
I know you're saying like, well, I have this watch. Well, also you ate food today and you did other things and you have a bed. That bed's $1,000. You could have gave that. It's a never ending cycle.
Yeah, it never ends.
But also you're helping as much as you can.
Yeah.
I mean, you're helping. You also are a dad. You have other things in life besides. You'll have that time, man. You're giving that time right now, and at a time where you don't have it to give.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Like I can't accept, but also in the back of your head, know that you're doing what you can right now. I mean, you own a business. You're doing multiple things.
Yeah.
You're inventing toilet safes. Fucking doing way more than I thought you were doing, which is amazing. But I've known you for a long time, and I've learned a lot more right now than a lot of our conversations about the stuff you've done.